Hi, it's Margaret, and thank you for joining me here on the Gardening Me. A few days ago, I planted out a bunch of different annuals into the border that's along our street. Now, if you watched my snail roll marigold video, then you'll know that area is one that is kind of weedy. It has a lot of kind of aggressive weeds, I guess. It's an area that I sheet mulched, and I'm still trying to get a hold of the weeds in that area. And so I don't really want to plant perennials and then have to deal with the tediousness of trying to get at those weeds as the perennials are growing. So until I get a handle on the weeds that are in that area, like bindweed and things like that, I'm probably going to be sticking with annuals for the time being. So I planted the marigolds, and a few days ago I planted a whole bunch of annuals that I grew from seed. So when I did that, I grabbed the camera, I gave a little bit of a description of each of the different annuals that I grew, and then I planted up that border. And I cannot wait to see it when it starts to bloom, so to speak. So these are the annuals that I will be transplanting today, and I'm just here in the shade. I'm keeping them in the shade until I go out there and actually plant them because it is hot today. Let's just quickly go through each of the ones I'm planting, then I will go plant them up. Once I plant them up, we'll take a quick look to see how they look in the ground. One quick note, all of these annuals, with the exception of the celosia, I think should do fairly well in the front garden bed when it comes to rabbits. I have not grown these out in an unenclosed area yet, but all of these, I think, are relatively rabbit resistant, either because of their fragrance, like the salvias here and the monarda, or because of their texture, like the dusty miller over there. With regards to the celosia, I'm not sure. Celosia, I believe, is in the same family as amaranth, and when I transplanted amaranth into the front garden last year, it was basically rabbit food within a couple of days. So I'm actually only putting 3 there just to see if they do okay. And I am going to put them more towards the middle of the bed and surrounded by all of the other ones that hopefully will keep the rabbits at bay. So we shall see how that goes. Let's quickly go through each of these. So here we have some salvia. Here is summer jewel pink salvia and summer jewel lavender salvia. Then over here we have monarda, and this is an annual monarda. It's lemon bee balm. And here we have another annual monarda called bergamot. Back here we have some more annual salvias. So the larger ones on this side are blue better. And the shorter one over here is a variety called Victoria. And I also actually have some Veronica here. That is a perennial that's actually not going into that front border. It's going somewhere else. I'm not going to be planting that right now, so that will stay in the tray. And then right here, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a dusty miller, and it is called New Look. This is the first year I've grown it, and I am thoroughly impressed. It is beautiful. And then we have the celosia over here. This is Pompous Plume celosia. And I also have here some ageratum, Aloha Blue ageratum. Once again, I'm not really sure if the rabbits are going to go for this one or not, but I have 3 plants here just to test it out and see how it goes. So here is the area that I am going to plant everything up in. I do more or less have a rough plan of where I'm putting everything. So far I have some fluffy pennisetum in here, as well as some marigolds from those snail roll marigolds. That's about it in terms of the annuals in here so far. Okay, I've laid out the dusty miller sort of in a line I want to see. In this area right over here, I am going to be putting some of that bee balm, the Monarda, the annual Monarda. So I think this is good right along here. These guys I'm putting about 10 inches or so apart. And yeah, so let's get planting. So I'm going to pull the mulch away. Dig a little bit of a hole. The one thing I really love about using these smaller type of pots is that the hole you have to dig is not very big at all. So I don't even need a shovel. I just use this cobra head here to dig my holes. It's perfect and super easy. Add a handful of compost that I've also mixed in a little bit of slow release organic fertilizer. Look at the roots on that guy. That looks amazing. Okay, and just put it in, firm it in. Put the mulch back. And then I'm going to water it in with a little bit of kelp liquid fertilizer. And that's it. And here we are, all planted up. So we have the Victoria salvia, we have summer jewel lavender, and then we have some Monarda, some annual bee balm, and those are the marigolds from the snail rolls, some more bee balm here. This is summer jewel pink, I believe, and back there we have some more salvia. That one is the blue better. I have here some ageratum. This one's called Aloha Blue. I had 3 extras from what I planted in the raised bed area, so I just plopped them in there between the marigolds and that viburnum over there. And then I have some more blue better salvia there and some more annual Monarda right there. Here is the Dusty Miller. I can't wait to see what that one does. And in the middle there is the celosia. We'll see if it lasts, whether I come out here and find it gone one of these days and the rabbits have basically had a good meal. And back here I have some more of the salvia blue better, and then in the middle here I have some more of that as well. And then we have some of the marigolds that I planted before. There are still a few holes in the border, obviously, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put in them at this point. I'll probably purchase some annuals. I don't know what I have that I'm willing to put in here that I'm not kind of 100% sure it won't become rabbit food. That's my biggest issue, because I do have a lot of celosia that I could put in here, but I don't know. I'm thinking the rabbits might like it, so is it worth the risk? Those are kind of my 3 experiments. I might put a few more here, depending on if I have some extras after I plant up a couple of other beds that are in the raised bed area, which is fenced off. I guess we'll see. I still don't have the drip irrigation set up in that area. I was supposed to get to it last year. Didn't get to it last year. So I'm really hoping that this spring or early summer, I guess we're approaching, I am able to get that done. And I think that really is going to make all the difference in the success of that area, especially because that area is slightly sloping. And because of that, the water kind of tends to flow off of it. So I think it really does need that drip to keep it well irrigated, and so that those annuals really get nice and big and bushy and floriferous over the summer. I'm not planning on fertilizing them again, but we'll see how that goes. If I feel that the growth is a little bit laggy, I really have never planted anything other than shrubs and trees, which generally grow slowly in that area. So I don't really know how it's going to go with these annuals, but if it is a little bit laggy, I will probably end up giving them another watering of some kelp fertilizer to kind of speed things up. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But I'll make sure to keep you up to date on what happens with that area. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.